everybody, it's Tonetta. It's very, very late actually. I don't even know what time. I'm trying to put my phone thing down. It is actually 2:34 in the morning, and it's actually Friday morning. I don't know the day. I think it's the 28th. I couldn't sleep, so I was up praying a little bit and decided I was going to just get up and do something and create something since I couldn't sleep. So I was actually asked yesterday to create some Chicago-style popcorn. I was already going to make some popcorn, so I'm going to include that in the mix that I'm making as well. So I'm going to make some caramel popcorn starting now. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, since I couldn't sleep, I've been up for maybe like the last hour and trying to, of course, like I said, pray about things and figure out things, that kind of thing, and just decided to just get up and just start making something. So, because like I said before, whenever I'm making, baking, anything sweet, cooking, it is all therapy for me. So, and that, of course, makes me think. It helps me think. It helps me plan. It helps me, of course, relax and that kind of thing as well. So, and it makes me happy. And look at my hair, y'all. It's all over the place. But that's okay. Like I said, it's a middle of the night. I don't even care but how you all look at this. But that's okay. But like I said, it's 2-something in the morning. So, but like I said, I'm going to start making some popcorn. I already got my handy, I guess, like the popcorn maker already set up. It's not plugged in. So when I plug it in, it's going to be loud. So, yeah, I won't talk while it's plugged in, of course. So, but I just want to let you all know what I was doing, what I was getting prepared to do. And like I said, I'll tell you more shortly. But let me go ahead and get everything measured. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm putting in the popcorn. I'm actually making popcorn, homemade popcorn. So this is with the kernels. I'm using this little cup thing. And like I said, I just bought this, it's called Presto popcorn maker, from Bed Bath & Beyond about a month and a half maybe ago, I guess. I don't know, about a month and a half ago. I don't know, something. Whenever it was, I made the last video that I was making some popcorn, to put it that way. That's when I made it, so I can't remember when it was. But like I said, like I was starting to say before, I'm up early, and when I'm up early, I used to, of course, color and do all kind of things. And I decided, that was late last year, that whenever I'm up early again like that, I'm going to just go ahead and start creating things and start doing something creative. So I won't, that's actually going to benefit, like, what I'm doing, my plight, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm decided to go ahead and make this popcorn, because I know I had to have it done anyway. So I can, of course, get it to y'all. So like I said, that's what I'm doing this morning. Uh-oh. Lord. Alright. I'm trying to get this popcorn about this bag. It's the hardest thing to me. But there we go. I think I'm getting it. Okay. And this video is going to be in a few parts because I do have to, of course, prepare everything for the caramel as well. Trying to make sure that's in there. And get the pans prepared, that kind of thing. So I may show you that part of the process as well. So it'll be like kind of in different little sections, I guess I put it that way. You will see different parts of it. And like I said, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm feeling fine. Of course, I put it that way. I'm not really sleepy. I did sleep some. I slept about 4 to 5 hours, I think, already. Went to bed like 9 o'clock, I think. I did my hair, as you see, it's in twist right now. I did my hair, washed my hair and everything, and did that before I went to bed. And I got in bed watching Couples Retreat. It was about like 8:30 and I was asleep. That's all that I know. And I woke up, like I said, about an hour or so ago and couldn't get back to sleep. So I started praying, trying to figure out parts of my life. I guess I put it that way, just to get more clear on things. I guess I'd say that. So, like I said, I guess I'll tell you what those things are since I'm up talking about it. And like I said, this is my therapy. That's how I deal with things, and that's how I plan and process things. But what I was thinking about, of course, just trying to process is more trying to figure out how to, of course, create the things I'm trying to create at this time. I guess I put it that way. Yes, I prayed about it, that kind of thing, but I still have to, of course, take action, which still means I do have to have action steps to take. I still have objectives to meet. I still have goals I want to, I have to, of course, plan out, that kind of thing. And things I have to do. I just can't sit back and just wait for things to happen. It's not going to happen that way. I still have to act on it. So I'm just trying to figure out how to best go about doing things. Yes, I know I have a sweets business. I love sweets, I guess, like making sweets and doing that kind of thing. But I'm just not sure. I want to include some other things as well. Because I know, of course, I love speaking. Ever since I started speaking back in a few years ago, I've been loving speaking, loving educating, loving inspiring, loving motivating. that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I want to move more to, as far as a full-time gig, I guess you can say, or a full-time career goal, I guess you can say. That was one of the things that I originally said a long back when I was young, actually, because I wanted to go into politics. Actually, back when I was like in middle school. Actually, I think it started. Well, first it was a doctor, then it was, of course, politics. I did actually start med school. I started at SLU. Well, I started the pre-med program. I can't say it was actual medical school. I started once I graduated high school, got into college. I went to St. Louis University. I did start off in the pre-med program. I guess I put it that way. After the first semester, after thinking about things, and I'm like, that's not what I really wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to provide some type of healing, but it just wasn't in the medical professional field. I guess I can say that. I guess as I'm looking back at it now, I can say that. So I chose not to do that, and I chose to go into the field of social work instead, because I knew I'd be helping the people in some type of way, helping healing in some part. I had no idea what the word healing, I knew what healing was. I just didn't know how to relate it to what I was doing at the time. I guess I put it that way because I was so young. But now I understand that I was helping healing, of course, in that way as well. But like I said, at some point, I guess must have been like middle school, late grade school, I wanted to go into politics because I saw on TV, of course, like the elections we were having, the different political figures that I saw post, like billboards and posts, and not posts, but billboards and posters and different things about these people that were going into politics, and they were saying in their communities to make a difference, and they had constituents. I knew what that meant. I knew how the political process worked because I loved, of course, like how the government structure was set up. I, of course, had all those kind of classes in school, so we, of course, talked about that and was educated about that as well. So, of course, I was thinking, of course, for years, up until a few years ago, that I wanted to go into politics, actually. And over time, of course, I started to see that, of course, politics, of course, was fine and dandy. You got to influence, you were an influential person, and you got to influence a lot of other people as well. But I just didn't see any change happening with the actual political parties, with what they were doing when they were in office. I saw a lot of people staying in office just to, of course, to me, just for the name, I guess, and making it a career instead of just making it something that they just stop by, do, and go on to something else bigger and better. So I decided, like I said, it wasn't a few years ago, maybe about 5 years ago or so. I don't know how long ago it was, but sometime in my 30s that I was not going to do politics. I think it was my early 30s, I think. Early like mid 30s, I wasn't going to do politics. I did not want to influence people that way because nothing ever got done and nothing ever changed. So, like I said, getting back to the speaking part, I knew that I, of course, had a gift of gab in some ways, but I, of course, allowed my voice to be shut down by different people because they felt uncomfortable with like the stuff that I was saying, or they thought I was always being mean when I felt I was just speaking the truth and what I saw and what I felt. I guess I put it that way at the time as well. And I'm like, okay, I don't see it being wrong. Whatever I usually said, it usually came to fruition anyway. And that person's life and my life, or whoever's life it was, had no idea. I know now that that's called manifestation. I know what it is now. I had no idea what it was back then. But like I said, since a kid, I've always been able to do those kind of things. I guess I put it that way. Speak things, and things just come, and things just go and flow, and all those kind of things. And people are like, okay, what's going on? Why did you? Well, I guess it means speaking to other people, saying what I had to say, to me, just speaking the truth and saying what I thought was going on, and just speaking it out loud. Like I said, some folks just didn't. Well, I ain't gonna say some. A lot of folks just didn't like that. And like I said, it just wasn't at home. At home, it was all at school. It was different places as well. At work as well. And like I said, so I had to limit. Well, I felt that I had to limit myself to what I was saying and what I was doing, in order to, of course, make other folks feel comfortable being around me, instead of me being the one that's intimidating people or making people feel bad. Is what I was told, and I'm like, okay, you shouldn't feel bad. It was just the truth. I know it's my truth and what I saw, but usually people to me are predictable, especially with different patterns that they have. I always recognize patterns in everything that I do. I don't know why, but I've always been able to do that since I was a little kid. A little kid. Like I said, I always recognize the patterns, what's going to happen, probably, but what's going to happen, like in logical sequence. I've always been able to, of course, see the patterns behind everything, especially with behavior, the way people act, the way people relate. always patterns with that. Um, and like I said, with it just seems like things to me were just predictable, and I just couldn't see things coming. And people, I guess, it just this to me seemed like they were just naive and didn't want to face the fact that it was coming or things were going to happen that way, or whichever the case may be. I know now, as I'm told, that some are not ready to, of course, hear that kind of truth or hear that kind of in your face type stuff. I understand that, but the point that I'm at now, I'm no longer shutting down my voice. I guess I put it that way. And I'm speaking my truth. That's the group that I just created here on Facebook as well. So if you all haven't saw that, I just started 2 or 3 days ago. So if you haven't saw that, I'll share it in this post a little bit later on in the group. But that's the new community that I just started here on Facebook. It's called Speaking Your Truth. To of course assist those the same as I had to assist myself and speak the truth to myself and project my voice more, and of course get my voice out there, and of course speak what I had to say. And even though it's from my point of view, that's fine. But like I said, I had to stop shutting my voice down, and of course I had a lot of stuff I had to say, a lot of healing I had to get done. So I want to help folks do the same thing. And like I said, that's where the speaking comes into play for me, I guess I should say. And that's why I want to, of course, create a platform where I can, of course, help people do that. So like I said, the speaking, that's what I'm going back to the beginning, because I talked about everything else. Like I said, the speaking is what I want to, of course, put on top. I guess I put it that way. I do want to do more of it. I want to do it more in the community. I want to do it on stage. Of course, I've said that years ago. The first thing I said when I started speaking on video was I think it was maybe like a few months before I started speaking on video. But I was telling everybody that I want to do a TED Talk. I still plan to do that TED Talk, and I'm actually going to be looking at how to apply for that TED Talk and how to, of course, get myself on one of those stages. Actually this coming weekend, I'll be looking that up. So, like I said, that's something that I've been wanting to do, because I know, like I said, back when I was a kid, I was wanting to go into politics and all this kind of stuff just to influence people and to be a person of influence and to be a person of leadership and all those kind of things. Not like MLK's. I know I'm not MLK or Malcolm X or anybody, or Maya Angelou or anybody along those lines. I'm Tonetta. But like I said, I do want to influence people on a mass scale like that. I've always wanted to. And I never could figure out how in the hell to even do that. I couldn't figure it out. I thought politics, like I said, I know with my voice, with speaking, I can do that, because I've seen many others do that, like Lisa Nichols and Les Brown and Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk. I've seen all those people do that. So like I said, that's what I want to move into the space of doing. I guess I put it that way. And with that, let me get this damn popcorn cooking, because I'll be sitting here talking all day. We'll never get anything done. So I'm going to get this popcorn cooking, like I said, while it's going. This is going to be loud, so I won't be able to talk to you all. So just bear with me for a few minutes. Exciting. Let me get my pot ready. I'm going to be setting up my other stuff while that's making, y'all. This is actually my caramel pot. So, making sure that the candy. That's my first little bowl. There it goes. Like I said, I got this handy dandy popcorn maker. That's what I got for right now, because I don't have any kind of big old tumblers or big warehouse to make this stuff in. So I'm making it in my kitchen. So But like I said, that's what I got right now, and that's what it's going to be made in. So I'm putting more into the mix now. I got to actually go pour this into my pan in there. So I'm making more popcorn. I'm making more popcorn, y'all. Putting more into the thing. And while I'm making this popcorn, or while the popcorn is making, I should say, I'm going to be setting up the rest of my stuff and getting my ingredients in order for the caramel, actually. So, I gotta turn my oven on. I'll turn my oven on shortly. We went into the little cup. Okay, I'm trying to see. I think one more little spoonful should be all right. Whoops. I weighed some popcorn, y'all, which is okay. I bought 2 more bags yesterday. So I'm actually loving making this popcorn, actually. I'm loving that I can make put a lot of mix-ins into this popcorn. And that's something that I love, too. I just love creating stuff, creating different stuff. As you all see, the sweet pig, those apples with the bacon, stuff like that. I love creating stuff, y'all. Let me put some spray on these pans in here. So I got 2 metal pans in here. I'm actually about to, I got 3 actually. I'm actually about to spray. About to lightly spray so the popcorn won't stick when I do get it in there. So, yep. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. Now I'm taking this to put this first bowl in the pan. And now I'm ready for my second. Like I said, I know this is not a big tumbler, that kind of thing. It's going to take me a little while to make all this popcorn, but that's okay. I got to go with what I have, so that's okay. It's working. Still getting my ingredients in order, y'all. And it said cost for salt. And I always put, I love my little Himalayan sea salt, so I'm going to put some Himalayan sea salt in there instead of the regular salt. I guess I put it that way. So I don't think it really cares what kind of salt or whatever kind of salt you want to put in there, but I'm putting Himalayan sea salt into that. Some baking soda because it calls for baking soda in this caramel recipe. Wrong thing. Baking soda. Alright. I guess I'm popping more popcorn. I'm not sure if I'm going to show you all this process or not, but I'll show you process to process, I guess. We shall see here. 2 more of these, I think. I hope I'm not making too much. For this recipe, because the recipe, just to let you all know, for this caramel popcorn, I found it online, and it calls for 14 cups of popcorn. So I'm hoping that 2 more of these should be all right. 2 more bowls of these should be all right. This one and 1 more, I'm assuming. If not, I have a whole lot of crumb on this popcorn, but that's okay. It'll still be tasty, I'm sure. I'm very, very sure that. I'm sure nobody's going to, I guess, complain about it. There we go. All right. 1 more. Well, 1 more after this. Thank y'all for being up with me. I know you're not up, but I guess you're not seeing this live, so this is going to be recorded. But I'll post it later on the page. But I just want to thank you all for, of course, checking out the video. And like I said, of course, viewing and seeing what I'm doing and seeing what I'm creating. And because, of course, you all are going to get a chance to taste this as well. For those of you all who want to, of course, purchase. And I didn't even mention what I posted the other yesterday. About some homemade snack packs, and this popcorn is actually going into those snack packs. Right now, I'm only making a few, because of course I'm not a mass factory or that kind of thing. But I'm only making a few, because I made those hot milk cakes earlier in the week, and that's going to be part of the package as well. So with this is my first one. This is going to be just 1 bag of popcorn, either the praline, because I'm going to make the Chicago style, which is the caramel and the cheese, and I'm going to make the praline crunch as well. So like I said, I'm going to have those two, but it'll be a bag of popcorn and 1 of those mini cakes actually, and I'm selling those for $10, y'all, for $10, just to let you know. So it won't be too expensive at all, and it's not going to be a small amount. I'm going to give you as much as amount as I can, I guess I can say. To make sure you get the most bang for your buck as well. So few piece kernels left at the bottom. As you just heard, just pop. But I'm going to go ahead and get, like I said, get these. I'm going to end this video here with the popcorn part. But I'm going to go ahead and get the caramel on shortly as well. So I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm back. I'm trying to make sure I get everything on and done. I got my oven turned on. I got the popcorn into my pans in there. And I'm just getting the caramel started, y'all. Well, I'm about to get the caramel started. So I got everything over here that I need so far. And it says to, of course, melt the butter first. It just keeps getting dark, so I don't even know if you all are going to be able to see me well. Hopefully, I can see myself now in there, but it keeps getting dark. So, if so, just bear with me. It's just the lighting in here, I guess. I don't know, but every time I step back into the light, it gets lighter, but it keeps getting dark. Trying to see if I can move this a little bit. If that help? Let me see. Let me see if that'll help. I don't know if that'll help or not. It may. Yeah, it may. Okay, yeah, it may. So I have all my stuff ready to go, I guess I should say. Like I said, I'm done with the popcorn part, popping the popcorn. I made 4, let me see, I think those were 1/3 cups of popcorn. So I made 4 of those. Righty, and it says to, of course, make this caramel. To, of course, said I have to have I have like a stick of butter. That's a half a cup of unsalted butter, but that's what I had in the fridge. It also says once the butter melts, stir in the brown sugar and the corn syrup and salt. The brown sugar is 2 cups of light brown sugar, and the corn syrup, light corn syrup is a half a cup, and then the 1/4 of a cup of teaspoon of salt. So like I said, I'm going to use my the actual Himalayan sea salt in there, like the grinder salt. That's what I'll be using for that. So I want to thank you all again for tuning in. And like I said, I'm making this popcorn. It's like 2:45, almost 3 o'clock in the morning now, I think. But I got up, like I said, an hour or so ago, couldn't sleep, prayed some, that kind of thing, and was just thinking about my life and what I wanted to do and where I see myself. I guess I put it that way. And I know there's others out there who, of course, think the same, want to talk about the same, trying to figure out the same as well as me. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. But like I said, that's what's on my mind tonight, and that's what I'm bringing y'all. So I guess I put it that way. So like I said, every time I bake, I cook. That's why I'm always bringing y'all these cooking demos. They help me. Of course, I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to y'all. Like I said, this is a time where I can, of course, cook and create something that I love and love to do, and that's of course, tasty. And then, of course, a time where I can, of course, process and plan and think about things as well. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one who has these similar issues going on that needs some help in processing. So I'm hoping this video will, of course, assist you in that process as well, like it's helping me. So, So let me go ahead and get my stuff together. Let me see, 2 cups of light brown sugar. And like I said, I know dealing with life and everything else, we all have those struggles and trying to figure out what we want to do and trying to make sure we're doing the right things. I guess I put it that way as well. And I know everybody say there is no right thing, there is no right. Well, the right thing is whatever thing is for you is going to make you happy, and that's going to give you the most joy, I guess I can say. Now, it may not bring you the most income or that kind of thing at all, but to me, happiness doesn't depend on income. Yes, you need income, I know, of course, to live. That's how the world has been set up. But as far as, of course, doing something that you love to do, trying to figure that out and make sure that you're happy doing it, it all boils down to happiness, no matter how much money you have. I was just telling somebody that this week. There we go. I was just telling somebody that this week. Geez, I missed my throat. I was just telling somebody this week about happiness and wealth and all that kind of stuff. Happiness, wealth to me doesn't technically mean income. For me, it means more of your happiness for me. I've always been a person that's always worked off of happiness and wanted to be happy and wanted to bring happiness into my life. That's always been me. Anybody that you ask my family, anybody that you ask that's a friend of mine that knows me well, would say that exact same thing. That's always what I've been, just a happy-go-lucky person. I brought smiles and happiness and joy to those whoever I was around. I've always done that. I've always wanted to do that, and I've always done that. I know, yes, I have had turbulent times in my life, very, very chaotic times, and I know some of that stuff I posted, of course, and talked about in other videos in the past, like 2 years, I had talked about. And, of course, like I said, I know I've had those kind of times. We all have. Who hasn't? But it's just what you do with those times and what you create with those times is what's meaningful to me. And like I said, happiness has always come out of that. Happiness is always something that's always my go-to. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, wealth to me isn't defined by the money that I have. It's defined by my happiness. If I'm not happy, nothing else matters to me. Nothing else matters to me, I can tell you that. Like I said, for those who know me well, who see me in action, anything along those lines, they can tell you that exact same thing about me. If I'm not happy, hell, ain't nothing going right. I guess I put it that way. And something's wrong and we need to fix this. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, my happiness comes first and foremost. Yes, I know we have to live. I know we have to have income, that kind of thing. But if I'm not happy, I'm not going to be stressed out and have blood pressure and all these kind of things going on. Like I said, I know I have to be happy first. I had to learn that first. Because like I said, I was making everybody else happy, I know, a lot of times in my life too. So I had to learn that it was me. I had to make myself happy first before anybody else. And that hadn't been that long ago that I set those boundaries. That was back in 2018 actually. So that was just 2 years ago. But I had to learn how to set those boundaries. Because of course I'm not saying I didn't have any boundaries or people ran on me, that kind of thing. No, I did get run over sometimes, yes. But I didn't have tight boundaries as I should have had. I guess I put it that way. And allowing those folks to, of course, use me for this, rides, or to the store, or use me for this and that, whatever it was. So like I said, I had to, of course, learn how to, let me make sure I'm doing this right, okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this right, because I'm like, wait a minute, I put the right things in here. Like I said, I had to learn how to, of course, set my own boundaries. Nobody's going to set them for you. Nobody's going to set them for you at all. Well, I take that back. They will set boundaries for you. There'll be boundaries for them, but not for you. There'll be boundaries that they want you to live by for them to make them happy instead of making yourself happy. That's what the boundaries will be. I guess I put it that way. It won't be for you. It'll be for them. So just keep that in mind as you go through our life. I had to learn that as well. Definitely have to learn that as well. But like I said, as far as wealth and happiness and all those kind of things, we have to figure out what makes us happy in this life and what's going to make us happy in this life. Nobody else can decide that for us. And like I said, that's why I was up thinking about what I'm going to do with my life and how I'm going to do my life. I guess I put it that way. And what I'm planning on doing in my life, all those kind of things. Just thinking about just my life in general. And what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do things. I may not know the full how I'm going to do things, but I know what I want to do. I guess I put it that way. I'm getting to know what I want to do through all the trial and error, through all the things that you all may see me doing with the blog, with the cooking, with the baking, with the speaking, with the videos. Like I said, I'm trial and error everything. I guess I put it that way. So just trying to figure out what it is I want to do and how I want to do it. I guess I say that. And I know, like I said, I put it this way. Since I went down the journey of course, learning who I am, loving who I am, being more self-aware, finding out what I want in life, and asking, of course, finding my spirituality, finding a higher power, finding God in my life, and what I guess, and what God means for me in my life at this present point in time. I never had that before. Because I didn't even believe in God. A few years ago, I didn't even believe in God, actually. I was atheist, or whatever you want to call it, without a spiritual basis for years, since I was young, a teenager. Actually, since I was probably like younger than because I really didn't. I mean, we did go to church as kids. I never believed in it, actually. So Never could believe in or grasp the concept of any of those kind of things. I was always the inquisitive one, the one who always asked questions, the one who wanted to know the history of things and the context of things. And what I was always told was, well, I was always shut down for one, by whether it was family, friends, family, pastors, and the churches that we were in as kids, I guess, was taken to, was shut down, saying I shouldn't ask questions, I shouldn't question God, I shouldn't question the Bible, all these kind of things. When I had questions and I was trying to understand what it meant in my life, and I was being shut down from that young of an age. I was probably 4 or 5 years old asking questions like that about religion, what it is, why we have to go to church, what is God, I don't understand, can somebody tell me, explain this, why do we have these holidays, all this kind of stuff, because it wasn't adding up to me. And well, I guess coming back to now, like I said, I had to find my spirituality. I found my higher power. Of course, I believe in God. I may not have a specific religion like I'm Catholic or Baptist or anything else, but like I said, I do believe in God. I believe there's a higher power, and I believe that there's somebody or something with the universe, of course, out there controlling things. I guess I put it that way. And of course, creating these lives for us. I guess to me, I guess I put it that way. And of course, as we create the life, of course, they are creating it with us. I know God is in everything that I do, everything that I see, speak, eat, everything that I see as well. And like I said, I had to find all that. And in finding all that, I'm finding more and more and more what I want to do with my life. I guess I'd say that. Like I said, I may not have the exact one thing, which I know there people say there's one thing you should do this well. In my eyes, if you have a lot of creative talents, if you want to play with all those things like I'm doing, go ahead and play with them. There is no reason why you can't. I understand people say you should have this, you should do this, you should do that. That's what's working for them. Whatever works for you, you do that, is what I always say. It's what I always say about things. And I forgot where I was going with that, y'all, so it's all right. But I know I'm getting back. I will get back to it, I'm pretty sure. I actually forgot where I was going with that. That's all right. But like I said, just do whatever it is that makes you happy. And like I said, there is no one thing that you're supposed to do. A lot of folks have a lot of different talents. And I think I posted, I ain't gonna say I know I posted it earlier this week. A lot of folks have a lot of different talents. You can have 10, 15 talents. You know how to dance, you know how to sing, you can paint, you can cook, you can bake, you can do all these things, you can talk, you can speak, whatever. But all those things may not create an income for you or a lifestyle for you that you want, I guess I put it that way, or that you desire or need or want to have, whichever the case, whatever words you want to use. So let's keep that in mind as well. I'm not trying to diminish your dream or anything along those lines, but we all know, and I speak the truth on everything that I do, that I know, and I know I've been told, I know I've read, I know I've talked to people about this as well, that once you face things, I guess like some of the gifts that you have, we all know that all those gifts that we have are not going to create any income for us. Some of them will, yes, I'm not saying that, but all of them will not. Well, I ain't going to say they will not. They may create a little bit, but just not enough for you to, of course, create a career out of. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, that's the point that I was at last week, and trying to think, of course, what I'm going to do with all the skills that I have, and how I'm going to try to if I can combine them. If not, that's fine. But how I can, of course, figure out what to do with these things, and figure out what I'm going to do with all these gifts and talents, and where I want to take things, and how I want to, of course, influence people. Like I said, that was some of the things I've been going over tonight as well. Just trying to think about all these things and trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing. I guess I put it that way as well. Like I said, I'm playing with a whole lot of things right now, as far as, of course, my creative side with baking is making sweets. And I love doing this. Like I said, that's why it's my therapy. That's why I'm talking to y'all about this. So like I said, that's one thing that I love doing. Like I said, I can clear my head. I can, of course, talk. I can process. I can plan. I can think while I'm doing all this stuff with you all. And like I said, I'm hoping it's helping you all, of course, to hear me talk, and to, of course, think about how this may apply in your own life as well. I'm hoping that it is. If it's just one person that it reaches, that's fine. That's all I need is one person. It doesn't have to be 1,000 folks. I mean, I would like for it to be, yes, but if not, one person is fine. That one person, that's all I want. Just to have a light bulb off, like, yes, this is speaking to me. This is the same thing I've been thinking about. And nobody else has talked to me about this, so hopefully I can be that beacon of light for you this morning and tell you that it's going to be okay. I'm telling myself that as well, but it's going to be okay. We all have different things that we, of course, want to do and trying to figure out how to do, but of course, it will come, trust me. keep playing with all the gifts and all the abilities and talents that you have, and something's going to spark, and something's going to be, of course, the main heading to your life. I guess I put it that way. The main heading, the main underlying. I guess the underlying thing that ties everything together for you. I put it that way. There's always a silver lining, I guess people say, in different things. But what I'm talking about is, I guess, more not like a silver lining, but I guess like an underlying theme throughout your life, throughout your creative talents, throughout your gifts that you may have. And what I'm seeing in my creative theme is how all the things that I do is, of course, blessing somebody else. Of course, that's always with everything that we have. Every talent that we have, it always blesses somebody else. But what I'm talking about, as far as what I see with me, is what it seems like it's more of the healing aspect. It's more as far as trying to, of course, to create happiness in people's lives. And that's what I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl. I know that because I've told many folks that, actually. You got to be happy. You got to learn how to be happy no matter what's going on. I used to always say stuff like that as a kid, y'all. And I was a little kid. I don't think I was even in school yet, but saying stuff like that. Knowing damn well I had all this stuff going on in my household. My father beat my mom, and they're using drugs, all this stuff going on. Like I said, I was still focused on being happy and creating a life of happiness for myself. And I saw on somebody's post earlier on my regular page, on my regular Facebook page, that if you want happiness, you have to create that. It will not just come to you. None of us will have a happy life if you don't create it. I guess I put it that way. The same thing that post was saying, the same thing I just finished saying. I guess I say that as well. But like I said, none of us will have a happy life unless you create it. I know that. And with all the stuff that I've been through, I should have been probably dead by now. I'm pretty sure I should have been dead by now. There was a time, I don't know if I ever told you all, I think I may have said it in one of my other videos on my regular page, but there was a funeral that I went to back when I was probably about 15, 16 years old. A friend of ours that was in a gang that was shot and killed, that kind of thing. It was that was shot and killed. Of course, there was like a riot I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, but there was like a riot that broke out, big fight in Little Grand, up at Ted Foster's funeral home, which is now closed. And there was an incident that me and my cousin was walking. There was an incident that happened that I know I should have been dead that day. I will never forget. We were walking down Grand, of course, trying to get back to the car to get away from all the people were, at this point, by this time, were shooting and fighting and beating folks. All kind of stuff was going on. So it was the Bloods against the Crips and back when all that gang stuff was going on back then. Like I said, me and he and I were trying to walk to the car to, of course, get to safety. I guess I put it that way, and get the hell up out of there. And this car pulls up right on, I think it was the corner of Grand and, I don't know the corner right there, but right there, like at the corner of wherever Ted Foster is, I think it was Cook. I can't think of like the actual street right now, but the corner. We actually walked up to the corner, was like walking down the street, like rushing, trying to hurry up. And this car pulled up in front of us. And there was two black guys, I'll never forget. The one that was driving, the one that was on the passenger side. The one that was on the passenger side had a shotgun, actually, pointing out the window at me, actually. I'm like, what the hell? Am I finna die? I just stopped. We both like stopped in our tracks. And I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, oh my God, please don't kill me. I'm gonna die. What's going on? Why me? All this stuff was just going through my head in those few seconds. And he pulled the gun. I heard it go off. He aimed it right at my chest, at my heart, that kind of thing. And like I said, we all heard it go off. All I did was I blinked. I do remember blinking. And I felt myself. I looked down. I'm like, okay, I'm not shot. What happened? So I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh God, what's going on? That kind of thing. I mean, which was good, but he was trying to, of course, cock the gun again, and it was getting jammed. And he looked at me like, what the hell? Are you supposed to be dead? I'm trying to shoot you. You're not shot. And I heard it go off. Nobody knew where the bullet went to. I don't know either. I have no idea. Like I said, I knew at that point I should have been dead. I'm pretty sure if it would have worked. I guess I put it that way. I guess with me saying, please God help me, I don't want to die, that kind of thing. Maybe I'm assuming that's probably what was the blessing and what saved me. Something saved me. Because like I said, I know I heard the gun go off. We all heard the gun go off. I just don't know what the hell happened to the bullet. He didn't either. He looked at me in amazement like, what the hell? What kind of person are you? And he just shook his head like, damn. Like and still tried to cock the gun again, but it wouldn't work. So like I said, that was me. For me, that was my cue that I needed to, of course, do something with my life. I put it that way. And like I said, I know I had to, of course, create happiness no matter what I was doing. I knew I was, of course, put on this earth to, of course, do something. I guess I put it that way. And not just, of course, be silent and be not fulfilling my dream, and, of course, not helping others. I'm sure that young man was hurting, I'm sure. Obviously, he was trying to kill me. I'm sure he was probably a gang member as well. Like I said, that was something that I was around at that time. Something that, I mean, of course, I didn't hurt anybody, that kind of thing at all, but there was something that I was around at that time. But like I said there, I mean, we all have things that go on, I guess I put it that way. You know, we all have different stories and different backgrounds and stuff like that, but that was just my background for that day. And for that part of my life, I guess I say that. And like I said, I knew I was supposed to be dead that day. I just couldn't believe what happened. I know he was in shock. My cousin was looking like, what the hell? You ain't shot. You ain't dead. What's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. I knew from that point on, the angels were around me. They were the ones that were, of course, protecting me. And I didn't want to admit it that day, but that's what was, to me, that's what happened. The angels, of course, like I said, were protecting me, were, of course, keeping me safe. And God had another plan for me instead of me dying that day. I understand that now. As I'm talking to you, I understand that now. I know I said it in my video before. I understand that now as well. I mean, I do understand. Like I said, there was part of my life that, of course, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, that kind of thing, but I'm just glad they allowed me to live. I guess I put it that way. I don't know. I mean, I, of course, had no idea who that young man was that day. I don't know. But he was, like I said, stunned just as much as I was. And y'all, the crumble's done, so I got to go put it on top of this popcorn. So I'm about to cut this off. I shall be back.